What's up, everybody? It's Garrett from the Ever Trending Story, here for another awesome episode of the EverGeeky Spinoff. I think I'm going to change the name of that at some point, just because, I don't know. It's the name's kind of run its course on me, and I've just been trying to figure out what to do with everything going on. Kind of got a little bit of a new setup here, as you can tell. Trying out the video thing again because I kind of missed the. Sorry about all of that. I need to get a new mic cord. Because I want to get these visual reactions for the stuff I'm showing, and YouTube is obviously a very popular place for people to post things and get reactions and to get some traffic, and we could use some traffic over at the Ever Trending Story, so I figure I'll just start doing these again, kind of with my new setup for now. As I mentioned before, we're still in the process of trying to get our house in line, and right now my room is very low priority. So, as you can tell by all of this mess behind me, I don't have everything exactly where I want it to be or down here, but, we're getting there. And, yeah, I just kind of wanted to try this thing out again, and see where it gets us. You know what I mean? I just have a couple things to go over. The first one, I saw the announcement for it, but I didn't really watch anything else. Oh, I just thought of another one. I have to write this down, otherwise my dumbass will forget it. So the first thing that I want to just jump right into is a trailer for a movie. Good Lord. A trailer for a game that I have not officially beaten any version of the game of. Everything that I've played through maybe most of it. I guess I don't know exactly where it falls, but the last two entries in this franchise have been heralded as some of the best first-person shooting going on. I'm actually, probably when this recording is done, I'm going to go back and play the 2016 version of Doom, if you couldn't figure out what I'm talking about. Doom announced another game. Bethesda dropped this trailer, or this game is coming out in 2025, and we have Doom, The Dark Ages, and here we go. I mean, already this premise is so fucking cool. Dude, just the classic gun. This shield thing, I did see this. This is really cool. Whoa, okay. I'm pausing this for a second. If you're just hearing this, I'm so sorry, but I really think that you should go on to the YouTube page and watch this, or just go watch the trailer for yourself when you have more time. This gun that he has, he loads it with a skull, and it grinds the skull up and is shooting people with ground up bone pieces. Fucking metal, dude. Okay, we'll keep going. after it loads. That shield is so goddamn cool. I mean, this just looks incredible. A mech? I forgot about the mech. Dragons, Doom the Dark Ages. $2025. You know, I've been excited for trailers before. No Switch. Weird. They did they did bring the last two Doom games to the Switch, and from what I've heard, they play really well. Obviously, the Switch isn't a graphics powerhouse like the other systems are, but the people who optimized that game for that system made it work. And I've seen some gameplay footage, and it keeps that frame rate that apparently is the most important thing to gamers now is frame rate. I have seen so many people just losing their goddamn minds over frame rates on everything, and they're like, oh, I bet it can't keep 60, I bet it's a steady 30, blah, 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 blah. I don't get it, personally. Now, I will say that I do love how smooth Doom plays, because I have it, and my computer's not it's not top of the line by any stretch of the imagination. I've done some upgrades to it, but it's not anywhere near what it should be for a game that looks that good to run that well, but it runs super well. They have somehow made that game work in the trying to utilize the lowest, I don't know, possible thing for it to work well. I think it stays at a pretty steady 60 frames per second on my computer too, that I've seen, and it's so fun. I mean, it's a little more frantic than the old Doom games, obviously, because it runs faster. The old Doom games were a bit slower, but it was, walk to this room, murder everything in sight, find secrets, go to the next room, absolutely destroy everything that moves, find secrets, and so on and so forth. The most puzzle solving they had in those old games was like finding key cards to open certain doors, I believe. I don't think there was really much else besides that. And I've owned Doom. I had Doom back on a fucking floppy disk. Was it a floppy disk? Hard disk? I don't know. The little 3.5-inch disc. I had the shareware, I think is what it was called. I have that. I still have those somewhere in my game stuff. Played the original Doom. I played Doom 3. Never finished that one. Recently purchased Doom 64 because I never had access to that. Slowly getting through that game too. Very enjoyable. Doom is a fun game. I mean, you're killing demons, and my mom was always against those types of things, and it was like, of all the games for you to be upset that we're playing, this should be the one that you're happy for, because we're killing demons instead of like befriending them. Like we're doing the Lord's work in a way, Just let me play Doom, Mom. Man, I really got to get a new cord for my mic. I'm so sorry. Not editing that out, though. Because real. So yeah, that is going to be awesome. I really should try to get these other Doom games finished first. Maybe that should be a goal this year, is to finish Doom and Doom Eternal. And see what this one does. So there's Doom. The next one that I want to see is something I was not expecting at all, but I really, really enjoyed on the Nintendo 64 when Perfect Dark came out, because it took GoldenEye, which was basically the standard for a first-person shooter for that console at the time. It just nailed it. And going back, maybe some things haven't aged super well. I know when they ported that onto the Switch Online, I played through the campaign, and I don't remember what difficulty I played it on, but it was basically, James Bond is supposed to be a spy, but that game really just turns into kind of Doom without the demons. You just kill everybody. A couple escort missions, finding little things here or there, but for the most part, you just run and gun and kill everybody. And Perfect Dark, while it still does that for the most part, adds a little bit more of like, oh, you're a secret agent, super spy kind of person, and they have more things like that. Also, I just want to say too, back on the Nintendo 64 for the Bond games, I don't remember how I came to own it, but I believe it's The World Is Not Enough on the Nintendo 64. And I think that was even a better Bond game than GoldenEye was. Because once again, you got to do more spy mission type things. I remember this one level that really pissed me off when I was playing it as a kid, where you had to sneak around this mansion and not get seen. And some of the guards were very touchy. And it really irritated me, but like the satisfaction you got when you actually beat it was great. And I just remembered that one being better as far as the Bond game, because they even had like voiceovers from the like actual characters. I think they actually had the actors do their own lines for it. I could be wrong. I'm not looking it up either. So if you're interested in that much, just do it yourself. But anyway, if you have access to that, or if you're going to do what you do and want to play it on your PC via means like that, check out that game. I promise it's fun. Like the very first mission has you escaping from a building when terrorists are like coming in to attack it. So those like swing in through the windows and you have to shoot them and you have to get like the bottom. It was a lot of fun. I highly recommend that game. Don't know how well it's aged. That's the one thing I'm noticing with a lot of these older, like Nintendo 64 era games, I feel did not age very well. And I think a lot of that actually has to deal with like the camera, and we can talk about that some other time. But even my parents bought my brother and I and my cousin. I don't think my parents bought it for him, but he acquired one through some means. We all had the Jungle Green Nintendo 64 that came with the Jungle Green controller, the expansion pack, and Donkey Kong 64. I played the shit out of Donkey Kong 64, getting all of the bananas, finishing everything, all the minecart, like everything. That game was 100% completed by me back as a kid. And then, didn't really do much with it when the newer systems came out until the Wii U came out with the Virtual Console. And guess what? They put Donkey Kong 64 on there. Oh, happy day. Let's play Donkey Kong 64 with crisper graphics than what was on a CRT TV back in the day. And then you play that game and you realize, oh, the camera is kind of ass in this game. And you go back and play like Mario 64 and you're like, oh, classic. Let's bring Mario into the realm of 3D. And then as you're playing it, you're like, oh, the camera's kind of ass in this. Jet Force Gemini recently came out on the Switch Online. I never finished that game because it was too fucking hard. You go back to play that. Oh, the camera's kind of ass. Are you sensing a pattern here? I had the game Glover. The camera was ass on that one. I can go on and on. I don't know. I'm really happy that games seem to kind of have a better control on the camera from what I've been able to play. But that era, unfortunately, seems to have suffered greatly from lack of good camera control. But anyway, back to Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark was fun. They just released it on the Switch Online. I haven't had a chance to play that yet. I'm playing Metroid Zero Mission. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I never played Perfect Dark Zero when I played a little bit. I never played the single player, I don't think, but I played the multiplayer when they released that on the Xbox 360. Never owned it. Kind of wish I did. Might still try to find that at some point because I still have a 360 right there. Still works. Still holding up. But Xbox Games Showcase 2024 sitting at 234,000 views. This is the Perfect Dark official gameplay reveal. Let's check it out together.
Your target is in possession of a radioactive device. Stop Carrington's attack at all costs.
Carrington?
Good luck, Agent.
I always knew I had an instinct. I could see the world differently.
Is this an action movie from 2015?
I thought it would be like any other mission. I was wrong.
Damn. Crystal Dynamics, huh?
Where it's a pleasant 23 degrees all day, every day.
How far to his last known location?
Local forces are also tracking his whereabouts. You need to find him before they do.
I'll have to improvise.
Generating voice print.
افتح ارسل واحدا آخر. اختبر البوابة بحسب. What readings are you getting?
We are getting odd readings from your monitor. Can you confirm?
This is what I'm talking about. This looks like some spy shit here. It's too bad I won't be able to play this because I am not buying an Xbox.
Carrington on the second floor.
Unless it's on PC, but I doubt my PC can run this game.
And the life we think we know
A little bit of Mirror's Edge
turns
here.
out to be a lie. There's only one way forward.
I do appreciate this actually being gameplay as opposed to
Find
just a
the
cinematic.
truth. Scan's clear. I'm going in blind.
Carrington! Damn it!
Analyze. What am I looking at here?
Carrington appears to be targeting a research facility. If he attacks it, the casualties could be astronomical.
Agent Stark, it's a pleasure to meet you. I could use someone with your skills.
This is way more than I was expecting from the trailer. Like, all I've ever seen is just pictures of her face. And I'm sure people are pissed at. Why
I
wouldn't
had
they
to
be?
lose everything before I could see what this world was really hiding.
I hope you're ready, Agent Dark.
Are you all seeing this?
Once you open this door, there's no going back.
Damn. Okay. That looks pretty friggin' tight, dude. Disregard that noise, hit the wrong button. That was way longer of a trailer than I was anticipating. I figured it would just be like, you know, her jumping out of the plane, landing, taking off her mask, you seeing her face, and then it would just cut off and it would just be perfect dark. But no, they really just went into that. I'm really impressed with that. That looks damn good. Obviously no date for it yet, but I don't know. It looks great. That looks really good. I really don't have much else to say on that. I am excited to jump back into trying Perfect Dark on the Switch Online, seeing how that is. I know Xbox did a bunch of other games, and I really don't care to jump into that. What I do want to jump into, though, is the Nintendo Direct that they just did, because I don't know if you saw my tweets, my posts. Sorry, I need to get used to that. I was super excited because this one I wasn't really sure what to expect from it, And most of the time when I see these, I am watching them after they've already aired. But this one happened to be while I was at work, and I was like, you know what? I can just put this on the computer and just kind of tune into the big ones, kind of listen at least to the announcements I don't really care about, because there's some of those where it's just like, I'm never playing this game, it's fine. But they had a lot of good announcements. Like, they started off their direct, they didn't even like say hello. They came in with Mario and Luigi Mario and Luigi Brothership. I've only played one Mario and Luigi game, and that was the one on DS. Is that Partners in Time? I think so. Yeah, Partners in Time. I played that one on the DS. I really liked that game. I don't know why I just randomly bought that one and never played the other one. I believe that other one's on the Switch Online, which I think I've started, but you know, trying to play all those games is you know, there's not enough time in my day to play everything. Started off with that, and then they had a bunch of other like announcements. I know people were going crazy over Marvel vs. Capcom. I've never been a huge fighting game fan aside from Smash Brothers, and even I'm not very good at it. But I do have this arcade machine that my mother-in-law got me that's got a couple of those Marvel fighting games on it. It's also got the Punisher like side-scrolling beat 'em up too. I don't ever play that thing just because it's not in a good spot to play. I'm hoping that my basement will get done at some point where I can have a TV with all my game systems down there and that arcade, and just have that be like the hangout game spot for me and like the kids to be in. So they announced that. They announced all the other kind of random ones. A stupid Hobbit game, a Hello Kitty game, blah 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 blah. They announced that they're doing Donkey Kong Returns HD. I've heard nothing but good things about these Donkey Kong games that were done by Retro Studios. More on them in a minute. And they're doing an HD version of that one on the Switch, which, I mean, it looks fun. A buddy and I played Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo to completion. I think I'd never played those games before till I played with him. It was quite a few years ago at this point. I know they're on the Switch Online, and I think that game's a little more fun with two people, actually, but I'll try to finish it at some point. So they did that. They announced that they're bringing Metroid Zero Mission for the Game Boy, finally. I don't know why that took so damn long. And what was the other one that they announced? Oh, they did A Link to the Past for the Game Boy Advance with the 4 swords. Now, the thing that's really annoying with that game is when they ported A Link to the Past onto the Game Boy, they gave Link the N64 Link noise when he cuts, so the little which I think works really well on the 64 games, and it feels so out of place on A Link to the Past. I think the appeal for putting that one on the online is for the 4 swords thing, because I've never played that, so I'm hoping I can get some buddies to like hop online and play that and try it out. They announced that they are bringing mature games onto the Switch Online, which is why you can now play Perfect Dark. And Turok is on there. I tried playing Turok, and I think I need to switch my controls around, because if you're holding now I'm using a Stadia controller, which I will die on this hill that this controller is one of the best controllers that will ever fit in your hand. This thing feels so comfortable. The sticks are great. This is a good controller if you have it. But if you're used to, you know, a first-person shooter with one of these, you are going to move forward with this stick and backward. This is going to, you know, control your character's motion. This is going to control his face and gun. So if you're playing, you're going to run forward and look around with this. On the Turok one, this one moves you forward, and this one aims your gun, and it is so backwards. I need to fix that. But I've been playing through Turok on my PC because I bought those 2 games when they were cheap, because I don't pay full price for anything. and that's been fun revisiting Turok. So I'm, I guess I have two different ways to play it now. Probably won't play on the 64 Switch thing because I have it on the computer and I'm already started. Why would I play another campaign of it? They announced another Super Mario Party Jamboree, whole new game. I'd be more excited for it, but I don't have friends to play that game with. So, and my wife is not a huge Mario Party fan for whatever reason. I don't know why I married her. I'm just kidding. And then, in the middle of all of this, they announced another Zelda game. And for some reason, I had it in my head that, there's been a decent amount. There's a lot of Zelda games that you can play on the Switch right now. Like, so many of them. And the one I was really excited for was this one here. The Link's Awakening remake that they did. Because this art style is so cute. And it fit that game so well. And I was like, you know what? They should make another game like this, even if it's like a remake of like the original Legend of Zelda, or if they do like the Adventure of Link as a side scroller with this character. That could be kind of cool, right? You see him walking around sideways. Or even A Link to the Past, I guess, if they want to just remake that game, even though technically Ocarina of Time is more or less a remake of A Link to the Past. But no, it's a whole brand new game called Echoes of Wisdom where you actually get to play as Zelda. So cool. I'm excited for that one. I'm not going to dive into that, though, too much because that trailer... Okay, so I said that Perfect Dark one, I don't remember how many views it was at, but this Nintendo Direct was 3 days ago, and this Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is at 2.7 million views. Huge numbers on that one. It looks fun. I like the art style. It kind of looks like it's taking place in A Link to the Past overworld with some changes. I'm okay with that. I like a little bit of familiarity, which is why I kind of liked what was that one? Sorry about my dogs. They just keep wandering. I don't know what they need. A Link Between Worlds was fun, and kind of had the same art style a little bit. Not quite, but it was close. Yikes. But everything else that they announced, super duper, excited for. But this one here, I'm going to pop it up on the screen because you need to see it. When this text came up, I like 6 to midnight, dude. There she is. There's my lady, my favorite lady in gaming, right here, Samus Aran. Metroid Prime 4. We haven't heard anything from this game in we have not heard anything from this game in like 7 years. They announced the title, nothing. Said they had to rework it, nothing. And then at the very end of the direct, like, we have one more thing to show you, and then they just drop this like golden egg in our laps. This reveal of Sylux was so, and then this like face off with her was just so. I was in love, like immediately, like in love, like I was gasping for air at work. My jaw was just open. 2025. Absolutely incredible, dude. If you haven't played any of those Metroid Prime games, if you have a Switch, you have access to Metroid Prime Remastered, I strongly urge you get that game. I believe it's discounted right now for a little bit because of the announcement of Metroid Prime 4. You can also get Metroid Dread, which I would also recommend if you want the side-scrolling Metroid game. That one is peak, dude. So peak. But yeah, the Nintendo Direct was just amazing. Everyone said like Nintendo just shut everybody down with it because of how much cool stuff they brought. And a lot of it is, ports and things of that nature. And, it's a little frustrating that we care so much about ports as opposed to new games. I would much rather have new games, which is why I'm excited that at least all three of Nintendo's big hit, like their franchises, which is what I consider the holy trinity of Nintendo, would be Mario, which they came out right out the gate with, and then they had Legend of Zelda right in the middle with their new game, and then Metroid with their new game. Just killed it, just 3 strikes, man, just nailing it. So make sure you go on to, if you haven't watched it, if you're still listening to this as a podcast, you can go on, YouTube and just look up those trailers and watch those. They are definitely worth watching. Speaking of things worth watching, I figured that because I'm trying to fill time on these shows, and technically this would just be the end of it now. I figured I would just kind of do something I used to do back on my solo show. And that would be like talk about things I'm doing, as far as like gaming, watching, listening to, blah 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 blah. So, gaming. I mean, I kind of just said I've been playing a lot of like the Switch lately. I'm gonna be playing some Doom too. Like the Switch, I had to go buy a new SD card for my Switch because one of my kids wanted to play Fortnite, and I didn't have enough storage on my card to play it, so I swapped it out for another one, which I know you're technically not supposed to do. They would just like you to have everything on one, but I didn't have enough, and I didn't want to delete anything else, so I put a new one in, and then I completely misplaced my old card, so I went and ordered a way larger card so I could put everything on here, and I started playing some games I haven't played in a while on here, since I now have room for everything. Started playing, Animal Crossing a little bit, kind of fell out of that for a while. Trying to collect the art on that game is such a chore. It is. I've been playing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom, which is why I had my amiibos right here. I got all my Zelda ones. I recently actually was just randomly in Target last week and found Ganondorf from Super Smash Brothers. This is like my Ganondorf that I like. Although the one I've seen in Tears of the Kingdom, he's pretty cool too. But the one from Twilight Princess is awesome. I need to finish that game again. It's been too long. So I've been playing that. Yeah, just been a little bit of gaming here or there when I can, be up enough to do it. That's the problem. Is as a grandpa at 36, I'm just so old and tired all the time. But one thing I've gotten into is trying to find something to watch. And for a while, I just figured if I'm going to be doing some gaming, I can do some TV watching at the same time, as long as it's not something I have to just completely focus on. So what I started to do was just watch some Family Guy. Catch up on some of that, because that was one of my favorite cartoons back in the day. Still is. So I'll put that on as like background noise, because you can still kind of like pay attention without having to just completely tune into your TV for the 22-minute runtime that it has. But I recently just figured there's too many shows out there for me to just sit and not pay attention to anything else and just zone out to Family Guy. So I decided that since they just released their new season, that I would start The Boys and just try to keep up with that as it goes on. And I am 3 episodes in. I just started the 4th episode last night. I didn't get too far in it because I was tired. Yeah, it's man, this microphone is too touchy. The Boys is good. I mean, it's definitely a dark show. It's not for the faint of heart. Language, gore, sex, all the above is just brimming with it, but it's an interesting premise, and I know that the most recent season that's out is apparently pissing people off, and they've changed some things from the comic, which I never read the comic, so I don't care. I'm not even considering reading it. I'm just doing the show, and I'm gonna call that good. But it's it's good. It's Carl Urban's in it, and that dude just kills it. He is seriously one of my favorite actors. He just is awesome in everything I've seen him in. Yeah, it's good. I also, as I've updated before, I'm making my way through all of the Marvel movies in chronological order. And the first time that I just realized I'm wearing my Turok hat, and I talked about Turok and didn't even point it out. I got this as a pre-order from when Turok came out on the 360. Now that's a fun-ass game. Where was I at? Oh, back to Marvel. Marvel. Watching them in chronological order. I'm in the last phase 5, or is it phase 5 at this point? The multiverse phase, whatever it is. So they've already, gotten through Thanos. And then it's Spider-Man No Way Home, Shang-Chi, great. And then I think I may be missing one in there too that I forgot. But oh my gosh, where is my brain at, dude? Eternals. I never saw Eternals in theaters. That was one of the few Marvel movies I actually missed on its initial theater run, if that one was in theaters, I think it was. And then when it came on Disney Plus, I ignored it for a while because I'd heard mixed things, and that's usually not how I am, but I just couldn't really bring myself to watch it, even though I did with Shang-Chi, and that one blew me away. So then eventually I just decided, you know what? You just need to watch it, create your own opinions, and go from there. And then I sat and watched it and fell asleep. And then started it back up like a day or two later and fell asleep. And then I just never got around to finishing it. I didn't, and maybe it's because I wasn't paying attention all the way. I don't know exactly what it was, but there was something about it I just did not like. It felt very disjointed. There was something just there I wasn't a fan of. And then upon revisiting it, I take all that back, and it was great. They didn't introduce all of the characters as well as I wish they would have with some of their powers, because there's a lot of characters in this movie with a lot of powers. This probably would have been better as a series on Disney Plus or something, where they could have just kind of worked with everybody a little more and just kind of, developed the characters and dealt more with the deviants and everything like that. But overall, once the movie ended, I was like, I am really glad I watched that. I'm glad I have something to look forward to whenever they do in Eternals 2. And continue with that, because there's some repercussions from this movie that haven't been touched on since the movie ended, and everyone who's a fan of Marvel knows what I'm talking about. The Celestial that was coming up out of the earth, and then so he's just underwater with his hand sticking up. It was good. It definitely worth watching if you haven't seen it yet. Like, just give it a chance. It's a little slow to start, but once it gets going, and I loved it. I really enjoyed it. It was good. And then the last thing I want to talk about is my current music obsession. I talked about, the whole Drake and Kendrick drama on the main show last time Frankie and I recorded that. Eminem dropped a new song called Houdini, where he used the like a backing track featuring Abracadabra from Steve Miller Band, and that song is great. It's fun. I love seeing people on TikTok just being like, "Ooh, Eminem's so edgy," and then you listen to that song and it's like completely PG as far as Eminem goes. I went back and revisited some of his older stuff, and man, he is just awful in those old ones, isn't he? That's kind of his thing, though. So, but my current obsession is a couple weeks ago, 21 Pilots released their newest album, Clancy. They teased it quite a few months back. They released, I think, 3 or 4 singles from it, which are the first 3 songs, and then the one song that Tyler always kind of writes for his wife in the album. They released a singles version of that, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I like the album version of it better than the single, but overall, this album has just overtaken my entire life. I bought the CD. It's in my car. I listen to it on the way home from work. If I'm picking up the kids, it just plays on repeat. I cannot get enough. And as of this recording today, they just released the last music video for the last song on the album called Paladin Straight. Holy shit. Did it. There's a lot of lore with 21 Pilots that kind of started with, I think, Vessel, and then they expanded on it in Blurry Face, and then Trench came out, and then they really got into it, and then Scaled and Icy came out, and then I don't think they did any lore stuff with that one. Maybe? I don't quite remember if there's anything on that, but then Clancy is kind of reintroducing all of that stuff back from Trench and Blurry Face, and I think it ties it up in a knot in a way, in a bow, I should say, not a knot, and kind of finishes it up. Very deep meanings with dealing with depression, anxiety, all these kind of things, and how he processes it, and how the songs are written, and it's damn good stuff. I cannot recommend that album enough. Are you done? Stop. Yeah, 21 Pilots, Clancy, it's great. I can't recommend it enough. It has taken over anything I'm listening to musically. And that's it. That's all I got. So, one last thing. If you're listening to this should be coming out on Monday, the 24th of June, which means that on the 21st of June, as I'm recording this, you can hear me chatting about Weird Al with Lauren from Beard Owl Podcast, part of OddPods Media Network. She is doing an anniversary episode of the album In 3D, and asked a bunch of people if they wanted to join her on that, and I threw my hat in the ring and picked the song, the theme from Rocky 13, Rai the Kaiser. I picked it because I believe it's one of the first, if not the first song I ever heard from Weird Al that just started me on this Weird Al journey, that I've just really grown to appreciate him as an artist even more. And Lauren and I had a good old time chatting about it. So make sure you're checking her show out on the OddPods Media Network, wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out everybody else on the OddPods Media roster. Russ is doing Infectious Groove stuff sometimes with Lauren on their YouTube page. Check them out. They're quick videos that just go through some quick little lists or reactions to music stuff. It's all a good time. I can't recommend just checking out all my pals over at OddPods Media. They are just constantly doing content, and I'm hoping to get to a point soon where I constantly do content, including YouTube stuff. This is kind of fun. I kind of forget how fun it is to watch myself talk and react to things. Trying to be better at it, because I like doing this. I do. Life's just busy. It's weird being a grandparent and getting to spend time with a grandchild, and the fact that my wife and I are going to be having a baby and it's a girl, which is just bizarre to me that I'm going to be having another child who is going to be also a girl. So that will be a total of 6 girls in my life, and as crazy as it is some days, I wouldn't have it any other way. And having a grandchild in the mix too is like super cool. I don't know if that'll block out when my computer went to sleep there. Thought I touched my mouse, but I didn't. So until next time, everybody, just stay safe, have fun, be kind, all those kind of things, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.